Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trade, and all our videos are for educational purpose only. We strongly advise you to stay on a sim as long as needed before you go live. Today, it is the opposite. Yesterday was the market; it was not moving, and today we have some nice movement in the market. We will cover all of it. For the ones that just join us, you can follow the ES entry price on the market analyzer, the left upper corner, 40.8775, target 40.95, and 28 ticks based on one contract. It's not the whole day, it's the last entry signal. The Autotrade took a trade on the 13.687, target on the Nasdaq 13720, 160 ticks. We just closed the trade on the Nasdaq. On the scalper, we use a white charts on the right upper corner. Also, it is a signal, and this is the Nasdaq from this market analyzer. And the Autotrade took the trade at 694, and then the target 137.47. As you see on the market analyzer, is 133 ticks into the profit based on the last entry. But on the Autotrade, we have two contracts, so we are double the amount because we have two contracts. Is double the amount of the market analyzer. Also, we're gonna share a totally different type of an Autotrade. And this is a 1 minute on the ES, and we will share also this one here is the TI7 for NinjaTrader 8, and it's taking this is a total different automated trade, and we cover some other also, we will bring down the Nasdaq, and we'll bring down some other charts to look at. The Nasdaq has already got hit. Daily target already hit 3,020 on the Nasdaq, and so at the moment, if we want to look at the ES has just hit the target. I extended the target a little bit. We have those institutional numbers. They usually between 11 and 12, we should hit 41.0650, and we're gonna monitor that trade. And we are on a full speed. Everything is fully automated, and we just maintain the trades. There is not much to cover. The market go in one direction, and we're doing fine today. Yesterday was a nightmare. The market was not moving, and today we have it nice, and everything looks good. Okay, guys, then I will stay a little bit quiet, and if I see anything, I'll be more than glad to cover it. Thank you. This is another system. If you noticed, there is a small mark on this chart. Has nothing to do with the signal automated to trade, but this is another system we added, and what it does, it helps the trader also to, like, you have a buy signal here. It's an indicator. It's not connected to the auto trade, but this is a buy signal right there. This is a sell signal. Now we had two contracts, and when the market pulled back to the minor fib support area, and fine, fair enough, we took one of the trade, and as you notice, there is a sell on the top of it, which is telling you to take some of your profit, and we still have the major, the trailing stop is based on the major support area. So this is very clever how we did it. It's not just the auto trade itself, it also indicate when there is a buy and there is a sell also is beside the auto trade algo in there, and this is a really that will help the trader to also, I mean, you just need to follow the charts. Actually, you don't need to, you have to understand a little bit about the fibs, but and now it seems like on the pullback, I mean, this is really obvious. We had a sell, we took one of the trade out, and this is a support area at 1372.25, and now we have it confirmed, this fib line, and now we are gonna be climbing to the 137.50.75, and on this auto trade, I can close that trade by just one click on the top and say close position. But the way I'm looking at this right now, the ES, it is a fully automated, but for the guy is interested, get involved in the trade or secure a profit and call it off for today. If we look at the ES, let's put this one here. I mean, if we look at the ES, we have crossed the double resistance area here. And this is something, because if we maintain on the ES to be above the 40.94, those numbers here, what you see, target 1, target 2, the target 3 is for the afternoon, don't worry about it. But those are institutional numbers, and not even people, 90%, they don't even know they exist. But they do exist, and we've been using them. I've been using them for over 22 years, 24 years. So those target here, the institutional numbers, if we can maintain above that level here, once we hit target 1, it will be profit taking, going back to the 4100, going back, climbing to the target 2, 410675, and then you kiss this market goodbye. It's finished. And after that, there is nothing but a bunch of losers trying to trade or auto trade, and there is nothing left, because once we hit this one today, the market keep going back between target 2 and target 1, and there is not much to do anymore. And we're gonna, so I'm hoping that we can maintain above the 94.75. If we maintain it, that means we are home free very early today. So now the market is trying to climb to the 4100 level, and if we can maintain that, then it will be the rest piece of cake. Let's see if we can keep this ES above the 40.94.75. That will be great. That will be an easy day today. You don't have a short on the ES. Be careful, guys. This is a pullback, and most likely the market is going to keep your eye on 409 to 25, this area here. It's too early to call it short. It's very early to call it short. It's a pullback re-entry, and be careful. This is where most likely this market is gonna kick back. Let's keep our eye on it. It's not short yet, guys. It's too early for that. We nailed it to the tick. I told you where it's going to be back, and we nailed it to the tick. This is beautiful. But now we have a bigger problem. We need to go again above the 94.75. Whether you are auto trading or manually trading, this is very important to know where we are going with the auto trade. And we try to help you as much as we can. So this is where we nailed it, and hope we're gonna stay above that area here. It's getting harder and harder now. With the resistance level. So I hope we are able to cross the 94.75 again. It's gonna get harder right now. We got the double, triple resistance in this area now. Now let's see if this market able to go above the 94.75 again. I really love to get this target 2 today as early as possible. So we'll keep our eye on it, guys. I'm keeping my eye. I will try to guide you with it. If you are following us, please be on a sim. We're not responsible for your trade. We're not your financial advisor either. So we are done with the Nasdaq trade, and we took one of the trade out, and the scalper start firing short trade, and the Nasdaq fired a short trade, and I still think it's too early for the short. If you want to go short on the ES, you have to wait till we break the 40.8950, the 40.8950, and we closed the ES 1 minute on 1400 and the Nasdaq on 3200. And please do not jump to the short yet. Let's wait till we go below the 40.8975, and then we can you can take a limited order, maybe short, but right now it's too early to start jumping on a short trade. But do whatever you want. We're not responsible for your trade. Nasdaq, there is no short on the Nasdaq. There is a huge support area, and there is the Australian stop fib, and there is a support area at 709.50, 70, 694. If you are thinking about going short, you need to start thinking short on the Nasdaq at 691.75. Anything above that, it is an extreme high risk, and most likely the Nasdaq is going to hold to this area here, and then we're going to go back to the 750. So if this market break that area here at 722, the 710 is going to catch it, so this is a very, very a bad idea to go short. Even if you are auto trading, this is a very bad idea for now. Wait a little bit till we get out of those area here. And on the scalper, the ES already fired a signal, and already hit the target, but I have expanded a little bit. I'm not sure, but secure it, because I'm not sure it's gonna keep going, because as I told you a few minutes ago, it is very important to go below the 89.75 to go short, not right now. So that's why I'm a little bit conservative about that trade. It hit the target, delivered from the scalper. It's not that. It's just trying to grab as much as we can out of it. So that's why, if you go back to the video a couple minutes ago, I told you need to wait till we are below the 40.8975 before you can take a trade short. And on the Nasdaq, that's what exactly we told you. It's too early to call it short. The Nasdaq is going to catch it at 709.75. So that's how it is. That's exactly what I was scared of. You see, if you go back to the video, we told you if you want to go short, you need to wait till it go below that line here. And it came in right at the support area, like what we told you. And then we told you to go below that line and put a short order. It's too early for that trade right now. And on the NASDAQ, we told you that if this number not going to hold, this one here is going to kick the NASDAQ back, and it did. So those are, you don't need to get excited when you see the first bar moving down. You need to determine if this is a pullback or it is a short, genuine short. And when you don't get scared that you're gonna miss a trend. You never miss a trend, because always the market pull back to confirm new numbers. So even if you missed the first trade on the ES, let's say we told you to take a trade on a sim, limited order at 89 short. Let's say you missed it. There is two ways you can take that trade: on the first breakout or on the pullback. Always the market go back and confirm. Always, every new number, the market goes back and confirm, and you can always trade on the pullback re-entry. Always. So don't just get excited on the first bar movement, the opposite direction. The market goes back and forth, and we need to stay a little bit on the track. As an example, right now, I'm still, that's why if you go back to the video, we told you it is very important to keep the ES above this level here, 94.50, for that reason. Because once we go below that, we're gonna bump into a little, chop market, and as long as the ES maintain above the 94.50, that will be much better for us. So we will keep our eye on it. So those guys. When we told you not to go short, this is a pullback, and this one here is gonna hold. If this one not gonna hold, that's exactly what we told you. That line is gonna hold, and there we go. So now we start taking the opposite direction of the other traders are taking. So now, if this ES break the 94 level, that will be really great, and then we are back on the track again. That will be really, really nice. So and this is a really it's gonna keep us going from now till 12 o'clock. Anything below the 40, 90, 450, I'm not interested in any kind of trade. Anything above the 94.75, it is a long. Anything below the 40, 89.25 is a short. In between those here, this is a nightmare trading here. Whether you are auto trading or a manual trading, this is a nightmare, and you should not get into this area at all. And this is a really, really your chances about making it, whether you are auto trading or you are a manual trading, here is very thin. Here is much clearer to go to the short side, and once we get out of this turbulence here, it will be much better deal if we are on a limited order at 40, 95.25. So this is the difference, is to understand where there is a lot of, like, if we take the NASDAQ, There is no short trade on the NASDAQ. There is no, you know, guys, for the ones that are asking all the questions or the chat, I really appreciate it if you wait till I finish with the YouTube. I cannot help Guy, don't know where he need to put a chart template. I really appreciate it if you wait on those questions when we are done with the YouTube, you know. And so if we look at the NASDAQ, anything below the 731.50, this is a pullback re-entry at 721.75. Major support area in here. You don't have a short at all. And so you gotta stay focused to avoid those area here, whether you are auto trading or manual trading. You have to avoid those areas here. Those are nasty places to trade. Doesn't matter if we are auto trading or not. And if you are on an auto trade, you can pause this auto trade for a few minutes, and then you can release it and let it trade again. On all our auto trades, you can pause the auto trade for now. Once it starts sinking in here, if you want to, or if you want to, you just leave the auto trade alone, whatever you like. But you have this function to put the auto trade on hold until we are above that area here, 40.95, or below the 89.25, you know. So those are important, not to dive in. If we look at this NASDAQ here, this is one big mass here on the NASDAQ. There is no short on the NASDAQ whatsoever. So I will not, also this is another option. You can also, on the auto trades, you can direct the auto trade to go long only. You see, change the color. Or you can direct it to short only also. It is a full automated. I know auto traders don't like to do anything to the chart, but for the guy is not scared to push the button. And if we look at the NASDAQ, this is one nasty good looking NASDAQ. This is really one nasty drop on the NASDAQ, and this, you cannot take short on NASDAQ. If this line couldn't hold, the second one is going to hold. If this one did not, this one is going to hold. There is a lot. So there is only free space if we are going long on the NASDAQ. And this is a nightmare if you're going to let your auto trade dive into this. This is a heavy turbulence here. And so a losing trade might cost you $200, $300, depends on how you activate your auto trade. But why taking a risk when you can click on that button here and say long only, and at least you can sit down and breathe? Because if I'm taking short trade in here, I cannot breathe, because I don't know which one now is going to hold. Is it this one, this one, this one? Now we are out of control, and once you lose control in the market, you are in trouble. So you do not lose control and start guessing. Pull back and put your auto trade on hold if you get lost in the market, and then try to re-engage when you can see the market start getting clear to you. So this NASDAQ, I'm not in a favor to go short anywhere on the NASDAQ. It is a high risk trade. We have advised you to go short on the ES, on a sim, and this one here has a cleaner picture, and but it's not gonna live long. Whoever took that trade, the one we told you about, you need to start exiting. You got a few ticks on it, but you have to start exit around 87.50 or break even, because also it is start getting tight. So if you took that trade on the ES, I hope it is on SIM. We're not responsible for your trade. It's a very small one. It's 87.50. You need to exit. Welcome to trading. Nothing could be done. You can see that NASDAQ is dropping. Look, it's dropping, holding, going back, dropping to the same level. Then it broke that level, is going back. So if we notice on those movement, look, well, by the time the auto trade, any auto trade, not just ours, we need to get educated about trading. So when we are auto trading, we understand what's going on. So when the auto trade can take a signal somewhere around there, the market pull back. When the auto trade tried to go long, the market goes back. When the auto trade trying to go short, stay hanging around here, and it's not going anywhere. So this is a really, and now it start gonna get heavier and heavier support area here. So this is a really, you gotta be careful with this stuff, to stay away from trouble. You know, very important to stay away from the trouble. We're gonna be quiet a little bit. There is not much to do. We're gonna get quiet, and and we'll see how this market taking us. Thank you. You see what I was telling you guys? Look at this. If this line is not gonna hold, this line is gonna hold, and this is why we told you not to go short on the Nasdaq for that reason. And now the Nasdaq is really, it's impossible to go short actually on the Nasdaq. If we wanted to go short on the Nasdaq, whether you are auto trading or non-auto trading, it's gonna be below the 684 level. And look at this. You cannot break all those. I mean, it has to be very hard news. Then we can break all this. But on a normal pace, where the market moving, there is nothing, I mean, really, it's impossible to break all those, you know. And now we are going to the 732.75, then going back to retest the 721.50. So we are now between the 732.25 and 721.50. So we are stuck in this area at the moment, and we keep monitoring. I mean, I cannot cover Nasdaq, Dow Jones, ES, Nasdaq, but what we are covering right now here on the Nasdaq does not have to be only Nasdaq. I mean, in order for us to read the market, whether it's a Nasdaq, ES, CL, it's the same. It's the same thing. You have to be cautious how this market moving, and where is the estimation direction is going to be, and where is the probability is going to be. So as you see, now we are between this the 31.75 and as I said, and this is exactly what happened, the 721.50. Once we break the 31.75, we're gonna start breathing with the Nasdaq. So your key is the Nasdaq has to be above the 732, whether you are auto trading or manual. It's irrelevant. Those they are gonna apply on a guy is auto trading or manual trading. It's the same level. For the ES, I will not invest any short. I will stay on one direction, like what we have said an hour ago when we first started the webinar today, that you need to start looking at the ES, and it is very important to keep maintaining the ES above the 40.95. Anything below that is garbage, is noises, and it's not tradable. So this is the only clear direction to the ES is 40.95 long. And right now I will not get into those area here. They are a very high risk area. And look what we said, the 31.25, and this is the where the market is really struggling. Is between, because this number here is a re-entry short, but I don't want you to take a short. This is a re-entry short, and I don't want to want you to take the re-entry short because of this heavy support area. So this trade is going to kick back from one of those lines, and I don't want you to take those re-entry points here at 30. So I prefer you to take the trade. It's a less risk. If we are above the 7.375, then we are in the clear, because I don't want anyone taking a short on the Nasdaq, and I really don't like the ES short either. So I like it to be above the 40.95 before I start looking at the ES, and I like to see the Nasdaq above the 732. Whether you are auto trading guys or a manual trading is irrelevant. Those are price level, And if you are auto trading, you just doesn't matter where this auto trade coming from. You're just dive into big pile of mud and support and resistance, and without knowing what kind of auto trade you have, absolutely, I can tell you immediately. Doesn't matter how shiny your auto trade it is, or you got it from somewhere else. I'm almost certain your auto trade not doing well. So now, not less if you are using a big higher time frame like what we have used here on the I mean, on the, if you want to use 13 range or something, then it's different ball game. But based on minutes, ranker bars, all this, it's not gonna survive this volatility in the market. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut off a little bit the noises, and I'm gonna cut off the microphone a little bit until we see this ES going above those numbers, and the ES, the Nasdaq and the ES goes above those numbers. So there is no use to keep sitting and talking. Uh, we need to see some movement in the market before we need to start approaching. Thank you. let's go back to what I told you guys. Please, especially for auto traders, please, please, please listen to me. Here, we made good money right there on the auto trades. And this is a clean message to the guy think he can auto trade 24/7. If you look, started at 6:30 and did very well, took a 3 beautiful trade, but when we started on that trade only. I didn't took those trades here that were early European hours, but I took that trade on the auto trade and it did very well, 1400. But please listen to this. This is a special message to this guy who wanna auto trade 24/7. If I didn't have the daily target in here, and if we look, this is a 1 minute, this is a statement. It's not Renko bar, it's not this kinky line break, whatever that is. It's not one day 200 ticks and another day 400 ticks and another day range. It is, when the auto trade is 1 minute, is consistent. And that is the end of the story. This chart is 1 minute and this auto trade is 1 minute. And if we look here, where this auto trade took that trade, it was a perfect entry, perfect exit. Is right there. The exit was 40.94, 40.94 somewhere. No, it was 40.93.25. It was right there, actually. But this is a clear message to those guys that wanted to auto trade 24/7. And if we notice here, this is nothing. This make any auto trade lose money. So it is a very strong, we strongly recommend to set your target. I have one client today, he started getting the habit and he was happy about it. He made 550. He is on a $500 target and he did it. So, and now he avoided all this mess in the market. So if we want to examine what happened from here to here, it's not the auto trade problem. It is your problem to detect it, to say, oh, okay, oh God, look at this. I'm so glad I'm not in it. So when we told you, when we started this webinar, do not stay above the 40.95 for a reason. So for the guy did not listen and he did not wanted to stay above the 40.95 to start, whether you are a manual trader or an auto trader, guys, is irrelevant. And the guy did not listen. He just got in himself to the big pile of mud in here and he lost money. So this is really important. What I'm trying to say, this is really important. Don't just turn on your auto trades in the morning and not looking at the chart. What I'm saying is, and I don't want you to sit down in a room, learn how to trade for 1 year either. What I'm trying to say, just open a chart and look at your chart for 3-4 minutes and see if this market is trending or it is stuck in the channel. And as we see here, this ES, maybe it's going to change in the afternoon. But at the moment, there is nothing to trade. And you have to accept the fact there is nothing to trade. We have to accept the fact. You know, like yesterday, if you go back to the video yesterday, which I left it, and yesterday it was nothing to trade, and I stayed away from the market all day long yesterday. And if you go back to the video yesterday, I told you I'm not into this mess. And when I see the market is in a mess, I stay away. So what I'm trying to tell this guy, when you see a mess in the market, or the market is not like this one here. Look, it just missed one tick, and I told you not to go below those areas and take a trace on the NASDAQ. Look at this. It just missed the target by a couple ticks, and now it's going back to the same entry price. So the whole idea here, guys, is nobody is forcing you to get into the messy market like yesterday, or today was trending and now the market is sideways. Nobody is forcing you to take a manual or an auto trade and get yourself in trouble, because we still have those people, they're not getting the message, and they think, what is wrong with the auto trade is not making me money today. And it is, if it can, this auto trade make $3,000 here and $1,400 here, does not mean. And look, now we are out of that trade because we missed by one tick here. You know, it is what it is in the trading. And when the market goes sideways, there is nothing we can do about it. To just stay away from the trouble. And as I told you guys, if we go back, another things, I've been covering that for a very long time. When you see, does not mean when you see the NASDAQ and Dow Jones or ES and a lot of volatility here, does not mean you're out of a trade. Without even looking to the CL, I know immediately the CL is making money without even looking at it. And there we go. We are making money on the CL. And the reason is very obvious. When there is volatility in the market, those older guys, they got their fingers burned before, and they know the trick. And they know better when they see this mess here on the ES, NASDAQ. They know better to refuge to the CL. They know automatically, they go for it. So what I'm trying to say, it does not mean if you cannot find any trades, or if you see, because of this market not moving today, does not mean you're gonna be out of a bread. You can always look at the CL, and I like the CL. On a days like this, the CL trend, because what it does, people refuge from the ES to the CL. Even if you are a beginner trader and you like the ES because the ES is a very slow paced and is a very slow movement, and if you are a new user or you're trying to get educated, it will be it's a slow movement, but also the CL, it is a slow movement. So the CL also, it is, I find the CL is cheaper to trade than the NASDAQ. So if you cannot, or if you cannot find the trades or if you have a limited amount of money, you can always use the two charts, the ES and the CL. And if you are a little bit slow process, or you are new in the market, you cannot keep up with the NASDAQ, I can respect that. And the NASDAQ can get very expensive because on the NASDAQ, you cannot use a stop loss 10 ticks. On the NASDAQ, you cannot use a stop loss 20 ticks. You can use 10, 15 ticks on the ES. You can use 10, 15 ticks on the CL. An average between 100, 150 to 200. But it is true that the NASDAQ is $5 per tick. But if you wanted to really dive into NASDAQ, I mean, you have to have at least 30 to 35 ticks in a stop loss for one contract. So I've found for a guy don't know what he's doing, if he make a mistake with the NASDAQ, can be very costly, where on the ESCL, still it is better to digest that. Also on the ES, you can use a micro account and get it over with. Now look at this. What we have told you, as long as this NASDAQ below this number here, don't trade it. And now you can see the NASDAQ start building out of that area here. This one here is one of the critical numbers. And once this NASDAQ cross that number here, it is very well the math on it. It is not just a moving average, this one here. This one here, I'm not going to sit down in the public and say what it's based on. But believe me or not, this is not a just moving average. There is a lot of things are involved in it. And now as we see, the NASDAQ has crossed the 2275. Now the market is in the clear. And now the ES is about to cross the 4095. And now, once this ES crossed the 4095, the NASDAQ has crossed the 13,722. Now we are back on the saddle again, and now we are in the money again. So those, how you going to optimize on an auto trade, those, how you going to avoid them. And there we go. Exactly what we have said, exactly what happened. And now the NASDAQ into the clear, above that area, and now we are on the right direction. And that, guys, can make a lot of difference between dive into this big pile of mud, as we showed you, and you have to be patient. And now we are in the money, and now we can, once we can start catching those trades, and now there is a possibility to start making the real money again. And there we go. Now we are on the right track. And now there is a possibility for this market to give us $1,000 on that trade, or $500 on that trade. And now if we look at the ES is trying to break from that area, which we have told you from the first minute on this webinar. Don't even look at the ES below the 4095. And now everything start getting into the clear. And this is now, the market is telling us, you're allowed to make money. You're allowed to make money, because there is a certain places in the market telling you don't even think about it. You're going to get beaten. And there is, for every chart, for every instrument, ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, there is a certain days where the market is not willing to give you anything. It could be the ES today, Could be tomorrow the CL. Could be the NASDAQ a day after tomorrow. I don't know what will happen on Monday. I have no clue what will happen on Monday. The only time I know what's going on Monday is at 9:30 when the markets open. So now we are on a full throttle on the trade, and now we avoided the chop market, and now we are on the track. So this is the different. Just trying to prove my point. It's irrelevant if it's a 300 or 3,000. It's not. This is what I'm trying to scream every day. The difference between a guy is an educated and auto trading and a just, I want money. Yeah, we all love money, but you have to earn your money. You don't earn your money by just bull your way around the market. You have to earn it, like anything else in this life. And now I'm still concerned about this market because I love to see the ES going above the 40.94.50 as what we've been screaming the whole day. However, if this market, now we got the NASDAQ in the clear, now we need this ES to get in the clear to the 40.95. That's what we've been saying from the first minute. Because if this one here is not Mr. 007 here, James Bond, the ES, if he has decided not to go above the 40.94.75, we're going to have some problems with the NASDAQ. And then probably we're not going to get the $1,000 trade on that one. So we are trading the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ become independent from the ES without any question about it. But the NASDAQ, as we see, this is something, it's only amateur people say I trade NASDAQ only. You cannot trade the NASDAQ only. You cannot be a profitable NASDAQ trader if you don't keep your eye on the ES. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you claim. You cannot. The reason is the NASDAQ, yes, becoming independent for the last few years. And before they were following the ES and the YM. But still, when the ES come into hard area here, the NASDAQ stops. It's no longer the NASDAQ following the ES like when we were trading it 10, 11 years ago. No, it's different now. NASDAQ is totally different. Technology is taking over. But when the ES is still the tank, is a heavy instruments. It is 500 stocks on the ES. You cannot just close your eye on a 500 stocks on the ES. So when the ES come into hard area here, the NASDAQ stops. And now the NASDAQ, what it does is sitting on the idle with the support area at 13,726. If this ES break that area here, the 94.50, 94.75, immediately the NASDAQ is going to jump to the 137.50, 75. Immediately. It's going to fly. So we will see. If you hear some kids outside, those are not my brats. There is somebody else's brat. Anyway. So we'll keep our eye on this, on the ES to see if it's gonna break the 40.94.50, and if it's not, that's one thing we can do on the NASDAQ. If this market go below that number, close it. There is nothing left, because we all dependent on the ES trade at the moment. And if the ES fell to cross the 94, NASDAQ probably is gonna start going backwards. So we'll see, keep our eye on that, and we monitor it. So if we want to know where is the trade going on the NASDAQ, we keep our eye on the ES to see if we are able, is trying to break that area, the 94 area, 94.50, and look at the NASDAQ. You see, is responding. And now look, if the ES gonna break that area, the NASDAQ is gonna fly to the 44. You see, start getting itchy here. And so it is a battle. And now the key, the market key is ES 409450. This is the key. This is the magic key for this market. This is your magic key for your auto trade. If you are auto trading NASDAQ, Dow Jones, ES, your magic key is 409450. And this is it. And now you can see, start getting the NASDAQ trade, start getting, you have the little exhaustion in here. And I don't know if you can see that on the YouTube, but start another system. We have another backup system. Why you are auto trading is giving you short and is giving you to sell 2 times. So in other words, you can take a profit if you want to, or if you want to, you can stay. But this is independent by itself, calculating the market for you, and is giving you signals in between if you want to roll your sleeves and put your fingers on an auto trade or protect your profit. You can do that by keep your eye on those signals, and you say, okay, well, this is the second time the system telling me to sell, and I maybe want to override the auto trade and sell. And look at this. Now we understand. This is the most important, is irrelevant, the money. Now we understand it's not the auto trade. We understand it's not the auto trade. Now we understand is the ES has come 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to the 409450 from the first minute we started the webinar at 10 o'clock until now is 11:24. It's been the same number all morning. It was the same magic number all morning. So this is, now we understand, has nothing to do with auto trading. Now we understand why we are not making money on this auto trade, whatever this auto trade today we are using. Beside this guy, he want to make 2,000 today, tomorrow 4,000, and day after 8,000. This guy is not gonna. I mean, you know. Let me. Now there is an option. You can use a higher time frame, and you can use, let's say, 11, 12 range. But you're gonna be on that trade for a long time. But maybe if you want to do that, you can do that. But on the ES right now, you're not gonna see anything until we are closing the bar above the 94.50, and it's a very simple. Nothing is gonna happen. Again, if this ES is not able to break, and this is where you can scalp actually. As we know, this market here has fell to break the 4094.50. I respect that. And ES has give you the first warning, second warning, third warning, fourth, fifth, telling you, hey buddy, I cannot cross that line. So now what the ES is going to do is going back, try to retest the 4090. So there is a short trade. exit at 40.90, and this is, if it's not able to break those area now, it's gonna drop to the 40.90, absolutely. So, and it's gonna retest the 40.90, and that's how it is, you know. So now, look at this. Look at the ES, and this is one thing. Look at this. It's very nice to read the chart sometimes. A few minutes ago, he was going head to head with the 40.94. You see? He was going head to head with the 40.94. Now he's going head to head with the 93.50. Look. Look. You see? He's having a hard time on the 93.50. He's going head to head with the 93.50 before it was 94.50. So let's see if he's able, and you can see immediately this is getting weaker. And this is where you spot the scalping or the short trade. And now he's going to start losing momentum, and it's going to drop to the 40.90. So this is, as long as we understand our situation in the market, and you can see right now, and we still don't have a trade on the NASDAQ, by the way. We don't have a trade. The re-entry point on the NASDAQ is right there, 137.18, and that's the only re-entry long we have. And if we notice the ES start losing the ground, there is a trend exhaustion here, and now he is going farther and farther away from our key line. It was 94.50, and now he starts sinking right under your nose, and you don't know what's going on. And on that condition here, there is nothing to trade except put in a long trade at 40.90. Or if you are light-handed, you can scalp it from here to here and then reverse it from here to here. For the guys are manual traders. For the guys are not manual traders, we're not expecting you to do any manual trade, but you can also release whatever auto trade you have once you see the 94.50. Look at this. Look where we told you the re-entry point on the NASDAQ. Look. The market is not hard. It just requires a little training. It's readable. It's very readable. And that's what we told you on the NASDAQ, and that's what happened. Look at this. Everything we said, go back to the video. Confirm it. We are very comfortable with trading. There we go. Right to the tick. Right to the tick. ES, I'm going to stay a little bit longer, is 11:30. ES, I'm going to show you. We're going to keep. Another things also, this is something beautiful. If you look, below the bars there is a stars. It's keep telling you if you are on the right direction. I don't know if you can see that on the YouTube or not. If you notice right here, there is a two red stars. It's telling you here, start getting to the downside. And look at this, baby. Exactly where we pointed at. And it's going to go back down here. If this ES going to go back to retest the 4090, it's going to go back. And it's going to stay here at 716.75. Those two are connected, so you cannot say, I only want to trade the NASDAQ or the ES. Even if you are trading the NASDAQ, keep your eye on the ES. Keep your eye on the ES. Now, as we see, look at this. The ES finally is about to break. It's not yet over. Came a long way. Look at this. If this ES is not able to close above that, it's going to drag the NASDAQ down again. But I think it's going to go up again right now. And we are out of the wood. We're done. And there we go. You see, when the ES crossed the 94.50 and we called that trade an hour ago, now it's 11:30. We called that trade at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. And now everything is in order. And if you go back to this video, we told you once the ES break that area here, the NASDAQ is going to fly, and it did. So this is the power of trading, folks. And once you understand those concepts, you'll find the market is very easy. Probably you're going to say, oh God, do I need to do all this? It comes, you just have to be patient. I mean, and it will come, Nobody is born know how to trade. And now the auto trades. And let me show you, this is a 12 range. This is a higher time frame. And it did very well. And then if you notice, it got beaten on a couple of trades when the market, but what is nice about it when you are using the 12 range, look, this is something when you are using I'm letting this 12 range for the amateur traders. And on the 12 range, the And we are using 10-15 ticks stop loss. We're not using a lot. You can see it. It is not, it's something affordable if something goes wrong. But what is nice about it on the 12 range or 11, from when we got into this chop right there, we only had one losing trade. You see? One losing trade. And now we are recovered from that losing trade. And there is some nice trades on it, but we have recovered from it. And now the ES, we call that trade for you, and then the ES now is out of that 94.70, 94.50, and now the market is going to the proper direction, and everything is fine, and now it is a tradable market. The different, when you are educated, you stayed away from the volatility and you come into the right moment, and a guy has avoided looking at the market and it just turned on the auto trade, he got beaten. So this is the different when you are around money. You should not underestimate how to make money. You should not underestimate it by just turn on the auto trade. You have to be educated to run any mechanical instruments, whether it's flying an airplane or, you know, or a captain on a boat. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna wreck it. And the trading is nice to have an auto trade. I would not change. Auto trades are wonderful, but auto trades are not magical. You know, that's the different. And auto trades are mechanical auto trading, and you have to be educated. And in order to make money, you have to be educated. You cannot just switch the autopilot on and you think everything gonna be fine. It's not. And now the ones are listen to us today and avoid to auto trade when the market was a chop, and now the rewards start paying off and the guys dismiss what we have said. They got in trouble. And even if you are using the same auto trade, one guy today is gonna make money. Another guy, he brush off the signals, what the market is telling him, and he got screwed up. So you cannot say, which you hear a lot, my auto trade made money, my auto trade did not make money. No, 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 no. You are the driver, not the auto trade. You are the driver. Run for cover, and now the market is smooth. Now the signals are synchronized, and now we're gonna cover, because there is a lot of resistance area, and now we are in the right direction. Folks, that's all what we have for you today, and wish you a very, very nice weekend. And Monday, private webinar for our members. I want to say thank you very much, and God bless you all, and please be safe. Bye for now, and wish you a really pleasant weekend. Bye.